The Fast and the Furious franchise has been entertaining people for over a decade and has made more than $4 billion worldwide. I personally love these movies and have been watching them for years. Like many of you, I grew up on these. So here is 50 facts about the Fast and the Furious franchise. 1. Paul Walker was halfway through filming Furious 7 when he died. Body doubles, stunt doubles, and CGI were all used in order for Paul to appear in the film after his death. Two of his body doubles were his brothers, Caleb and Cody Walker, who also provided the voiceover for Paul. 2. Eva Mendes reprised her role as U.S. Customs Agent Monica Fuentes from Too Fast, Too Furious to let Agent Hobbs know that Letty, who was previously thought dead in Fast and Furious, is in fact alive. Michelle Rodriguez, who plays Letty, wasn't told that her character was going to be resurrected until she saw the twist ending in Fast 5 when she was in the theater. 3. Neither Jordana Brewster or Michelle Rodriguez had their driver's license when cast for the movie. Jordana actually had to pass her driver's license test in one take or she would have been dropped from the movie due to insurance requirements. Michelle Rodriguez told Entertainment Tonight that learning how to drive for this series led to quite a few speeding problems. I got such a bad record with speeding because I got my license for Fast and Furious. After 11 points on your license, you're like, yo, where's that Prius at? I'm dropping this M3 somewhere. 4. In the aforementioned MTV News interview, Michelle Rodriguez also revealed that she didn't have a good first impression of her co-stars when she first met them. As she explained, I was like, who's the Ken Barbie doll, referring to Paul. I thought Jordana was prissy ninny, I thought Vin was a dick, and I was wrong about each and every one of them. The interview notes that they truly seemed like sort of a family. It's a sentiment that Rodriguez reiterated after Walker's death. More recently, when asked by Empire about her co-star The Rock, she seemed to be more fond of him right from the start. He's such a cool cat. I'm always staring at him like he's not real. I look at him, I see an eyebrow raised. Him and his underpants, those muscles, they feel like rocks for real. I'm in awe of that guy. I can't even approach him like a real person. He's an entity. Most of my scenes are not with him, unfortunately. 5. Vin Diesel's character, Dominic Toretto, drives off in a red 1970 Chevy Chevelle coupe at the end of the first movie. When the character returns in the 2009 movie Fast and Furious, the car is seen again. Although multiple versions of the car exist, Diesel told MTV News that he gave at least one of the red Chevelles to his infant daughter because she was born while filming Fast and Furious. Diesel was apparently hesitant in going to the hospital and cutting the umbilical cord, but Paul Walker convinced him that he had to do it. 6. Sarah Deming filed a lawsuit against Film District when their movie Drive wasn't similar to The Fast and the Furious. She claimed that Drive had been marketed to be like Fast and the Furious, and that Drive was such a disappointment actually compared to Fast and the Furious that it deserved to be sued. Apparently, Ryan Gosling was no Vin Diesel. 7. Paul Walker wasn't the first choice to play Brian. There were several actors on the list for who could have played Brian O'Connor back in the first movie. The biggest names were Eminem before 8 Mile, Christian Bale 4 years before Batman Begins, and Mark Wahlberg. 8. Vin Diesel turned down $25 million for Too Fast, Too Furious. He says that he didn't like the way it was written and that it felt like a movie that was completely different from the original, just with the Fast and Furious name slapped on it. Instead, he and director Rob Cohen, who also didn't return for the sequel, made the 2002 action movie Triple X. 9. Vin Diesel did come back for Tokyo Drift though, but on one condition. He said that he would ultimately do the cameo for free, but made a deal with Universal Studios. In lieu of an acting fee, Universal would have to give him and his production company the rights to the character Riddick from 2000's Pitch Black and 2004's The Chronicles of Riddick. 10. Ja Rule could be in ludicrous issues right now. Director John Singleton had wanted to bring back rapper Ja Rule's character Edwin from the first movie, but according to Singleton, Ja got too big for himself. He turned it down. He was acting like he was too big to be in the sequel. 11. Towards the end of the 6th movie, Hobbs swiftly mocks Roman's big forehead. It was a funny scene, and it actually happened because Dwayne had forgotten his line and improvised. Ludacris's reaction was genuine.
Hey, Mia, you better hide your baby oil. I'm just playing.
You better hide that big-ass forehead.
I was just joking. Whatever.
12. Brian and Letty don't talk until the 6th movie. Despite being members of the same family and crew, these two characters don't actually have a conversation with each other until 6 movies in, and that's after she's died and come back to life. 13. In Furious 7, Hobbs is recovering in the hospital and can be seen watching a college football game. The game features the University of Miami, and the commentators reference number 94. The footage is actually of Dwayne Johnson back when he played college football for the University of Miami, wearing the jersey number 94. 14. Han Solo's death in the third film means that Furious 7 is a direct sequel to the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and that 4 through 6 are actually prequels. 15. Michelle Rodriguez almost quit the first film because her character, Letty Ortiz, was supposed to cheat on Dom with Brian. 16. Walker, Rodriguez, Diesel, and Brewster all drove Formula One cars in preparation for their street racing scenes. 17. A fistfight portrayed during the race wars scene got a little too real when Vin accidentally broke the nose of a stuntman playing a security guard with a backwards elbow blow. 18. Prior to creating the fifth movie in the franchise, Diesel reached out to fans on his official Facebook page asking for potential ideas of where the story could go, and someone suggested writing a role for Johnson as the bad guy. During the writing phase, the filmmakers reached out to Johnson to play Hobbs, and he agreed to sign on. The rest is social networking history. 19. The logistics of the vault heist were so difficult that, like the train sequence, the scene was almost scrapped entirely. The primary stand-in vault used was actually a shortened pickup truck chassis with a vault-shaped case that fit over it. In essence, the vault was a steerable single-driver minicar hooked to Walker and Diesel's cars to make it look like their characters were dragging it. 20. Meadow Walker, Paul Walker's daughter, received a settlement from the estate of Roger Rodas, who was driving the car in which Rodas and Walker died. Meadow is 18 now and was just 15 when her father died. Although it's unclear how much she received from Rodas' estate, she has also filed a separate lawsuit against Porsche AG, a $13 billion corporation, and intends to hold the company responsible for producing a vehicle that was defective and caused her father's death. 21. In between the fourth and fifth film, Vin Diesel directed a relatively unknown short called Los Bandoleros, surrounding all of the same characters within the franchise. It featured original cast members Michelle Rodriguez and Sung Kang. The 20-minute film depicts Toretto and the others breaking friend Leo Tigo out of prison and then partying the night away in a local club. 22. On the commentary of Too Fast, Too Furious, 2003, director John Singleton comments that one of the film's soundtrack songs was by a local Miami rapper. That rapper turned out to be Mr. Worldwide himself, Pitbull, and the song was called Oi. 23. In 2015, Vin Diesel and his girlfriend had a newborn daughter. He named her Pauline in honor of his late friend and co-star Paul Walker. 24. Lin wanted to shoot entirely on location in Rio de Janeiro, but it proved too costly and dangerous. Scenes were shot in Rio, most notably the favela chase sequence, but the majority of the scenes that took place in Brazil in the movie were shot in San Juan, Puerto Rico. 25. The train heist sequence alone cost $25 million to create, and it involved the production buying out a 600-yard stretch of train tracks, as well as an entire train. You gotta love the way they make these movies. They literally bought a train just to destroy it. 26. Paul Walker and Matt Schulze had carefully choreographed the fight scene outside the grocery store in The Fast and the Furious, but when it came time to shoot, it didn't feel right. In the end, they just improvised. 27. The Volkswagen Jetta Jesse drives in the movie was later purchased by Frankie Muniz. 28. Dominic Toretto's black muscle car is a 1970 Dodge Charger. This Charger is the same body style, although 1 year newer, as the famous General Lee of the Dukes of Hazzard. 29. The first street race scene is supposedly a quarter-mile race, taking approximately 10 seconds. However, the race takes almost 2 minutes of screen time and shows the vehicles driving in excess of 150 miles per hour, faster than even a 1200 HP Bugatti can accomplish in a quarter mile. 30. Toyota donated 4,000 tires for the movie, and roughly 2,000 of them were used. 31. The drifting in the movie was not CGI. It was performed by professional drivers. In fact, a few of the cars were converted from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive so they could drift properly. 32. At the house party, Dom says to Brian, "You can have any beer you want as long as it's a Corona." This is a reference to automobile innovator Henry Ford. 33. The first car you see Paul Walker drive in Too Fast, Too Furious was actually his own racing car in real life. 34. Cohen, who visited real illegal street races in preparation for directing the movie, enlisted the help of 200 souped-up cars driven by actual illegal street racers for the initial racing scenes. 35. The Race Wars sequence made use of 1,500 cars and 1,000 extras. 36. One of Ja Rule's groupies got to be in the movie. According to DVD extras, a groupie who was in Ja Rule's trailer makes a brief appearance in the film as a woman his character Edwin fondled ahead of a drag race. 37. Dominic Toretto's Southern California home is the epicenter of the film's romance, partying, and group bonding. In the movie, the address 1327 appears, but the house is really located at 724 East Kensington Road in Los Angeles' Echo Park neighborhood. 38. While it's not known to what extent the young cast members were hooking up behind the scenes, director Rob Cohen confirmed all of the lead players were romantically involved, in real life, with their on-screen love interests. 39. In the tank sequence during Fast and the Furious 6, the production wrecked over 250 cars, and that's just one scene. 40. It has been rumored that Bijou Phillips, Jessica Biel, Kirsten Dunst, Natalie Portman, and Sarah Michelle Gellar all auditioned for the role of Mia, which was reportedly written for Eliza Dushku. The part went to Brewster. 41. Real-life Drift King Keiichi Tsuchiya appears in the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, but not as one of the drivers. He appears as the fisherman who makes fun of Sean learning how to drift. However, it was him driving during most of the scenes where Sean is learning. 42. Director of the first movie, Rob Cohen, stated that he shot even the less action-based scenes as if it were a race, with the camera always in motion, the perspective constantly changing to create the feeling of energy. 43. A number of cameos have been made by rappers and singers, including Ja Rule, The Fast and the Furious, Bow Wow, Tokyo Drift, Don Omar and Tego Calderon, Fast and the Furious and Fast 5, Rita Ora, Fast and the Furious 6, and Iggy Azalea, Furious 7. 44. Rob Cohen had his crew repaint the houses in Echo Park, where the Toretto house was located. By having duller backdrops, the car's brightness were the main focus. 45. The South Beach mansion owned by Cole Hauser's villain, Carter Verone, in Too Fast, Too Furious, once actually belonged to Sylvester Stallone. The film's director, John Singleton's friend, owned the house at the time, allowing them to shoot there for free. 46. The opening scene from 2009's Fast and Furious, where the whole crew is reunited and taking down a fuel tanker, came from a brainstorm that gearheads like Dom would never be able to afford the gas for their vehicles and would have to steal it. 47. The origins of the entire franchise are based off of one magazine article. Scott Stuber presented producer Neil H. Moritz and director Rob Cohen with a 1998 Vibe magazine article by Ken Lee titled Racer X about illegal street racing in New York. 48. Tokyo Drift was Justin Lin's first foray into the franchise, but he had to use tricks to complete filming. It's really, really difficult to film in Tokyo, so the lead actor Lucas Black had to wander amongst real pedestrians while a small crew filmed him and tried to get as much footage as possible before cops shut them down. A few crew members were even arrested. 49. Given the prominence of vehicles in the films, Justin Lin had casting calls not only for actors but for cars as well. Production would publicize a meetup place for people to bring their cars, and filmmakers would choose drivers in their cars for scenes as they were needed. 50. There was a Fast and the Furious movie in the 50s, but it wasn't anything like the Fast and the Furious movies of today. In fact, when they made Fast and the Furious in 2001, they bought the rights to the name from the old movie because they wanted to use the name. They didn't buy the story rights because the story is completely different. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. It was really fun making it. And I hope you guys stick around for future videos. Alright everybody, peace!